Hello Bapak Ibu, welcome back to another session of English for All Teachers, the training for all teachers in Sidoarjo. So now we are back to another discussion that we have. As we previously learned in the module, we have achieved the Unit 9, and now we're going to continue to the Unit 10, which is the descriptive tags. So with me, we're going to further discuss what is actually descriptive tag, what is the social function, what is the generic structure, what is the language features that have and can be found in the descriptive tags. So in this training session, it will be done in asynchronous, which means you're going to listen to the audio and then do the exercise later. So for the first, as usual, before we begin our discussions, I'm going to provide some of learning objectives. As you can see from the screen, we have two main learning objectives in talking about descriptive text. The first one, we're going to learn the basic concept of the descriptive text. So we're going to understand and explain the basic concept of descriptive text. And then the second one, we're going to learn about the examples of descriptive tags. So we're going to create and also communicate the examples of descriptive tags. So Bapak Ibu, we're going to learn and then start this discussion by keep remembering the rules of the game. The first, we have to speak up in English. The second one, we have to be active. And then the third one, we have to be happy. So without further ado, I'm going to start to the first examples. No, it's just a simulation. It's just a brainstorming. Do any one of you have a cat? So if you do, sometimes when people ask you, can you describe about your cats? You will use these expressions. It has gray and white fur. Or maybe if your cat is orange, or maybe if your cat is full white, you can say like that. Or another one. For example, you are having a friend that has a long hair, the beautiful one. So someone will ask to you to describe your friends. And when you remember about the hair of your friends, you're going to say, she has a long hair. So this is one of the expressions that you use to refer and describe the friends of yours. And then another stimulations is that I'm going to brainstorm is that when you are asked to describe, for example, your son or your student or even a friend of yours or your niece and everything, you're going to use some expression like this to describe. Well, he is a smart boy. So if you notice, Bapak Ibu, these three examples are actually some of the sentences, some of the forms and expressions that we can use in learning about descriptive tags. So now we're going to the main theoretical framework. So what is descriptive tags? We learn about the pets, for example, the cat. We learn about the girl with long hair. We also learn about the boy that is very smart. In the previous brainstorming, we noticed some expressions and it becomes very particular and it is really descriptive. So yeah, that kind of expression can be found among the descriptive tags. So descriptive text is basically a text that explains about whether a person or an object is like, whether its form, its properties, its amount, and others. And Bapak Ibu, we also need to notice the descriptive text has a purpose. So what is that? So the purpose is clear and for sure it is used to describe, to represent, and to reveal a person or an object, either abstract or concrete. So it is very important for us to notice about the basic concept of descriptive text, what is actually the text is all about. So now we're going to go directly to the social functions. Yes, without further explanation, we learn and know that the social function of descriptive text is to describe person, thing, or place in specific. Notice that there is the use of word specific, so it is not something that is general. So in descriptive text, thing that we describe should be very particular and specific, ya Bapak Ibu. And then the second one, let's take a look at this example. I can say this is very specific from certain keywords. For example, the use of the possessive my, best friend Ryan. So in this particular case, what is the author want to describe is the best friend, the one with the name Ryan. So it is very specific, Bapak Ibu. So before we even go deeper in the descriptions and also the identifications, we can clearly notice that it is a very specific text, specific description about something. So now you can pause this video and read the rest of the text. But now we're going to continue to the generic structure. So what is actually the generic structure that we can find in the descriptive text? So from the first, we have identification. So it contains about the introduction of a person, place, animal, or object that will be described. So you're not directly mentioning about the physical features, the hobbies, and everything. You need to introduce first. You need to position about this particular object that you want to describe. And after that, we can move to the idea of description. So what is description actually? So it contains a description of something such as animal, things, place, or person by describing its features, forms, colors, or anything related to what the writer described. So now we go back to the example of the text my best friend Ryan. So in this context, we can see that the introduction is located in the very first sentence. So I have a best friend. His name is Ryan. And after that, it goes to the detail, such as where does Ryan live? In Surabaya. And also mention that Surabaya is precisely located in Indonesia. And it also located to becoming more specific and particular in a small detached house. And even Ryan has a wife, and her name is Aura, and also two children, Abdul and Adi. So it goes more particular, more specific after we introduce and identify the text. And then we go more deeper, such as he works at BNE, enjoys his job, the position, and then we go to the physical features. So he is tall, has a pointed nose, has a light skin, eyes color, the glasses, the hair, and several favorite things, so such as badminton, and even favorite food, and even last it is close that it's actually the friend of the writer. So after that, we're going to the language features, Bapak Ibu. So in language features, we notice that in doing the descriptive text, we have to be very specific. So for example, in my case, the easiest way to identify, we can directly notice from the use of the word my. So when we use the word my, we can directly say that it is specific participant. So the cat that we are revering is the cat of mine. The friend that we are revering is the friend of mine. Or even some places such as Harris Monument, Kuta Beach, or everything. So directly the name of the place. It is not something too general. Another one, we can use adjectives. What are the adjectives? To describe the physical features, we can use certain of adjectives, Bapak Ibu. For the first, we have tall, we have smart, we have kind, and we also have beautiful. So basically it describes the particular physical features. And then the last one, we can use the simple present tense. So what I mean in here, nominal or verbal, if it is nominal, we can use to be, such as is, am, are. But if verbal, we can use the verb one or the basic verb. It is quite easy. So now let's take a look at this example. I noticed about the specific participant from the word my best friend, Ryan. And another one, the use of the name Ryan is also particularly specific. Another one, the adjectives. We notice that Ryan is tall and even have a small detached house. Also, Ryan is having a pointed nose, light brown and curly, and also um, favorite and everything. So the adjectives are everywhere, Papa Ibu. And then the last one, the simple present tense. For example, we want to find the nominal form, so we can find it in the his name is Ryan, so there is a to be. And also another one that we can notice, he is the head of the sales manager in the bank. So the verb is in the form of to be. But in terms of verbal, as we can learn in the previous slide, the verbal can be found such as he works at BNI Bank in Surabaya. He lives in a small detached house with his wife, for example. Another one is that I have a best friend, for example. He uses a glasses. So verb 1, if it is for singular, we can add the verb with as, but if it is plural, we can just use the basic verb 1 form. So that is what we already learned about the descriptive text. And for the further action, I do really expect you to fulfill the Google form for the exercise. Thank you so much, Papa Ibu, and having a great time of learning.